Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time. The road is almost done. It's WrestleMania weekend. It's our first of 3 shows. My voice might get a little cracky here. I got a cold that I'm kind of recovering from. It's not COVID because I would know if it was at this point. Leroy doesn't care because he's over there.
Well,
he gets them all the time.
I've been here for so long and so many years. I think I've survived everything.
Yeah, exactly. So
COVID ain't shit.
Jesse is currently in the cities doing some recording, as we've mentioned on the show. Folks, you have to understand something. If you can get recording studio time, you take it, you go record.
And hopefully he's working on that theme music that we've been talking about.
Jesse, for all intents and purposes, will be here for our Monday show where we will recap the most stupendous 2-night WrestleMania of all time. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. First and foremost, nothing but well wishes to everyone who was in the Hall of Fame last night. We're just going to get that off the bat. What a Hall of Fame class. Just to say that this class, you know what? I don't know if it's the greatest class of all time. It's up there. I mean,
I really think so.
You talk about this class.
Wonderful.
And even Sharmell fit the class a little bit when you really saw the package they put together, when you kind of looked at how Booker felt about it. You
got to look also where they were, because I didn't think about that. Then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. They're in Texas.
Yeah.
Where are they? They're in Texas. That's where they do everything.
But, I mean, come on. Look at this Hall of Fame. We'll start with Sharmell. For an African-American woman, she had a lot in that business. She did a lot on television in that business.
Starting with the Nitro Girls back in WCW?
Yeah, all the way up to being a fairly successful manager on the main roster. To Vader finally getting in. Folks, can we just put an end to this? I'm pretty sure Nikki Bella knew that Vader had passed. I just think that she wanted to hear the speech of his family.
I think that's what she was referring to.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she's
pretty sure that's
she's
where
not
we were
that
going.
spacey.
Yeah, no. But the package of those days of watching Vader's old tapes. I mean, sir, this Hall of Fame was for you, was it not?
You pretty much, I guess so. I mean, with everybody they had in, it was kind of old school looking at, going, wow, this is kind of neat, you know.
You watched Vader.
I watched Vader
at his peak. You watched Vader at those highs and lows, and then of course, we move on to the Steiner brothers.
And I'm so, I was talking to Evan. I'm like, we together have met. I think we both have met like 6 or 7 WWE Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
In our time, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That is unreal that we have had the privilege to rub elbows with so many. I mean, it's crazy.
And I understand that Triple H's most recent health issue probably had a lot to do with it. It's nice that he and Scott could just bury the hatchet and understand that, you know what? Look, folks, the wrestling business sucks. It's a lot of politicking in it, a lot of stuff. We had some issues last Sunday that we'll talk about for DPW. Won't get into too much. But, I mean, that's the wrestling business. It is what it is. But, no, look, what I love is that regardless of how much crap you give WWE, their Hall of Fame is starting to expand beyond the WWE Hall of Fame. It's becoming a wrestling sort of Hall of Fame. I don't necessarily know if the Steiner Brothers tag team is a WWE legendary act, but they're a legendary wrestling act that deserves to be in every Hall of Fame.
Definitely. And I did love his comment at the beginning.
Yeah.
They're trusting me enough to have Scott Steiner on a live mic.
I mean, that's something. But you could tell how much it meant to Rick, though.
Yes.
I mean, you could tell how much it meant to Rick Steiner. I think because Scott had such a long solo career, people think that Rick kind of got forgotten a little bit towards the end there, because Rick never really had the solo run, because he just never really had that natural charisma that Scott was able to harness.
He had a little bit. He had some good title runs. I think he was a U.S. champ, I think he was a United States champ, and that's it besides the tag team. He didn't get any other ones. Yeah. Scott did. He was a heavyweight champ and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Scott, as people was like, he's a lot different than he was. He is.
And once again, WWE, I don't care if you're Impact, I don't care if you're New Japan, I don't care who you love, AEW, they put together a video package that'll make you, it'll make you angry, it'll make you cry, it'll make you happy. Fucking Shad Gaspard's family, man. I mean, how did you... there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Oh, hell no.
JTG being allowed to do that stuff with his son and the video package. I mean, for you as a dad, I can't imagine what was going through your mind in that moment. Well, just everything.
It's the same thing. I know how a dad, what he would do for his kids.
Yeah.
And he did the ultimate sacrifice for his kid. And I wouldn't even hesitate.
His son kept it together really well, I think. Spitting image of dad, too. Just
oh,
my God.
And I think his wife did really good. She slipped up a little bit, but you know what? You're talking about your husband that passed not that long ago.
No.
I mean...
And by the way, folks, last night was a big reason why I think they wanted to wait till there were fans there. I think they really wanted to give Shad a true send-off. A true award. I wanted, they wanted people to be in the moment of what it was, and they also maybe we don't know the story behind the scenes. Maybe the family wanted a little more private time. We don't know those information. We're not privy to that, and we shouldn't be privy to that. Number one, I mean that's none of our business. But God, that package for Shad. You talk about how few things he really did in WWE, but you look at the family video, all the times with his son, the fact that, I mean, here's a guy that just, I mean, from the moment it happened, that kid was his life. That's all he wanted to do.
It is.
And truly a very gentle giant, someone who clearly, I think, you got from that video that as powerful and as skilled as he was as a fighter, basically, never was going to use it for anything other than truly making sure that everybody was okay. And then we get to the highlight of the evening. Leroy, it comes to an end, arguably where it began. The Undertaker, Big Evil, the Dead Man, the American Badass have all essentially been put to rest. Your thoughts on that, considering you basically watched the entirety of this man's WWE legacy, I should say.
Just watching that when he comes, hey, this was me, and now you're going to meet the guy behind it, Mark Calloway. I'm like, wow. Vince, his speech beforehand, and
I mean, look. I know Kane's recently said some things politically that we're not going to get into that may have rubbed people the wrong way. I know that Kane seemed like the perfect person. Arguably, it should have been Paul Bearer, but may he rest in peace.
Yes.
But I mean, is there anyone arguably that could have done it better than Vince? I mean,
no.
Vince Vince on a night when he's working, where he's gone on the headset, no one's allowed to even thank him. He walked onto that set, he walked out there, and the man who has given us all of these characters over the years really was very sincere. I mean...
totally.
You could tell...
No way around it.
You could tell the years that Mark Calloway, and that, I want to stress that, Mark Calloway gave to Vince really did mean something to him. Underneath that hard businessman exterior is a man who's very thankful to Mark Calloway.
Well, you could see that too when he came out and the exchange with him and Vince. I mean, good hugs. And then it's I have to probably look back and count, but I swear I thought it was like 20 minutes that the crowd just went nuts.
Yeah.
And it was getting me emotional. I could see Mark was getting emotional.
We can finally
he was
now
trying to get everything out, and then he finally did.
We can finally now, I guess, look back and truly understand. That's a character, Leroy. Let's go back to when you first saw him. He shouldn't have worked in the Attitude Era. Not that Mark Calloway, because it's the wrestling business. You can reinvent yourself all you want.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that he was able to keep that name and stay relevant.
Yeah.
That's Mark Calloway, the Undertaker, didn't all of a sudden take off the cloak and say, I'm a new person. He was the Undertaker. He was Big Evil the entire time.
Yeah. He just tweaked his character to me that, as he needed, as everybody said, the American Badass, it was needed at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he left, when he came back as the Dead Man, which was needed.
Now, people sometimes get this misconstrued. The original Dead Man that you saw walk out at Survivor Series, that was not the same Undertaker that came back after the American Badass.
No.
It really was two different characters.
That was a different, because as you look on the stage, as you're looking at him,
yeah,
the one all the way to the right was the first.
Yes.
and then he had he didn't have the badass up there. He had all 4 indications of the Undertaker. The first one, I think, is
Ministry of Darkness was up there.
Ministry of Darkness, yes, and then because there was one on then with the spikes.
Yep.
And then the last one he had was the one on the left that he took off and put the jacket and had when he left. So
I know it ended with him saying never say never, but I think it's probably not going to be for a while. Let the man heal, let the man walk a little bit in his own shoes instead of Taker's shoes for a little bit. And by the way, I have enjoyed his post-wrestling career. He's been so much fun in all the interviews, everything. Folks, he believes what he wants politically. We're not here to argue with that. Leroy and I are technically polar opposites in what we believe Sunday is for, but Leroy respects what I do. I respect what Leroy does because Leroy, you're not preachy about it. You believe in it, but you don't believe that it's something that you need to shove down people's throats every day. And that's kind of my thing with Taker is just
that's the one thing I hate about people that do that.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing I want. I don't want them to do that to me, so why want to do it to everybody else?
And that's just it. It's like, look, Taker can vote for who he wants, believe what he wants. He's just a great guy, but I think that's the thing is, it's so cool to see them cap off such an amazing career. I know he said never say never, but I kind of hope it's never because he was able to go out, I think, the way he wanted to go, and I think the way he went out, I don't really want him to try that again.
I don't know if you heard when he went over to say goodbye to the wife and the kids.
Yeah.
And I don't know who he said it to, but he goes, like, "You're messing up my groove." I don't know if he was saying it to his wife or his daughter sitting there, but I was like, "Oh, geez, Taker." And then he walked off.
And their adoptive son
yes.
was there as well.
That's who it is, the little guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't sure. I'm like, I didn't hear about her having another baby.
She didn't. I don't know the full story, but apparently they did adopt the young man. And,
well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, adoption. If you can't have kids for whatever reason, or if you have the option of adopting a child, do it because that kid deserves it.
Oh yeah,
and he's gonna have 2 great parents.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
I mean, but I did love how I was waiting for it when he got up there in the stage. I was like, okay, where's the fist?
Yeah,
and then he flipped the fist up. I loved his acknowledging everybody they went through the ropes with.
Yep.
And his group. Acknowledging Yokozuna and Crush that are no longer here.
You and I talked about this off mic. Noelle Foley felt a little slighted for Mick, but I think you and I both agree, and not really her fault. She was very young when Mick was really on top with Mankind. I think people have to realize. You said it best. Hell in a Cell made Mick's career. But Taker's career was so much more than just the Mankind rivalries and all those
That's just
things.
one match that everybody asks Foley about. And that's something that Taker helped Mick.
I would say that if Taker ever does the spoken word circuit, he'll probably get asked about that way less than Mick ever would.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's just the way that you have to look at that.
Yeah.
But fabulous night. It's a night when I don't care what you like in wrestling right now. If you hate on that night, just enough's enough.
And I thought it was very interesting how they didn't have, because I was looking at them like, oh, when are they going to have the ceremony?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we're going to do it Friday night right after SmackDown. I'm like, oh. So right in the same arena and stuff like that. So all the fans were there, which was great.
Yeah.
And they brought everybody in. Randy Orton kind of stuck out because he had a different color suit than everybody else.
Yeah.
But he was... Oh, he was he was having a blast.
Yeah, no.
That was awesome.
We moved from that to Leroy.
Yes.
We had some fun last Sunday.
Oh. Yes, we did.
We had an amazing night. For the first time in our history together, I was the one that physically was assaulted by one of the wrestlers.
Yes.
Needless to say, our best wishes right now out to Alex Riley, the general manager of DPW. I have not heard from anyone, but I believe the brain swelling is starting to go down from the chair shot from Paul Verk.
Yep, I haven't. I've heard just about the same thing that
we're
he
possibly
is getting better.
Jesse's working on getting Paul on the show, and maybe Paul can explain exactly what that was about. You can tell Paul was definitely very not okay with a lot of what was going on. Paul and I had a little bit of I was in the ring.
And unfortunately, if you're in the ring, you're in the line of fire.
Paul was in a mood. I personally hold no ill feelings. I was there to try to help out a situation that, yes, Paul created, but it's a situation between talent and management that I'm not supposed to be a part of. I was technically thrust into that because we didn't know what was going on. We needed to make sure that we helped out Alex, and I took a couple of shots. I've just now been able to walk properly on my right leg.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because you were limping pretty good that night.
The worst Charlie horse I could have ever had. Let's just put it that way. Couldn't put weight on it till about Wednesday. Now there's still a few little tweaks to it. But like I said, I'm not here to say anything towards Paul because, needless to say, Paul had plenty to say on that night. Once it is finished, we will make sure that we get it out to our lovely fans to watch the show. Can't wait to
whenever they get it up on YouTube there.
MAW was highlighted on that night as well. What an opening contest. 30-minute draw that, oh my God. I gotta say this. I'm really afraid to tell guys like System, although he wouldn't care my opinion no matter what. But System and Rampage, to tell those two guys how good they really are, boy, that's hard to do because God. But you know what's crazy? For an opening contest that really Eric kind of announced here on the show.
Yep.
So it was really only about a week before finding out they were going to have this match. Oh, they had that whole room just standing. They
lit up the show. The couple VIP matches they had beforehand were great.
Yeah,
to warm up the crowd, but to warm up and start that show,
oh my goodness,
they put on a killer show. And then when you were laid up injured there, me and Jesse, unfortunately, we had to help move people out of the crowd because Paul got a little upset with the wrestler and threw him.
Yeah, no, Paul assaulted me with a chair. He assaulted Jesse with a wrestler.
Yeah.
How the hell did you get out of this?
Well, I got hit by Jesse. He took most of the blunt, and then and then everybody was so concerned. You know, the fans were there. Was like, oh, is everybody okay? Yeah, we're gonna be okay. Everybody's gonna be out. You know, you guys good. You know, it's just like they were worried. I appreciate the fans being worried about us, but we're as much of a professional as we can be, and we do everything. But Jesse was okay. He's got a little more cushion than I do.
Right? Yeah. No, yeah.
So that does help.
But
a little
more.
But a lot of excitement through bench, and our mama's favorite tag team was out there.
Yep.
And giving shit because they killed Teddy, and then
Teddy was not
no, he made a surprise appearance at the end of the match to help his boys out.
Yep.
Which was great. He got a great.
Every match,
great fan ride.
Just had everybody on the edge of their seat. It really was. Just such a unique show. Loved being a part of it. Fantastic time. Can't wait for the third one to come along.
I know, and it's like asking Eric that lovely question: is it going to be at the same venue, or did he find a new one? And he could not say anything.
He's got nothing to say about that. But no,
darn you, Eric.
But no, folks. DiscoverProWrestling.com. Go watch the first one. Is the full show on their YouTube? I'm not 100% sure.
I believe so.
Is it
I believe it's still. Yeah, it should be.
Knowing Eric, he'll be taking a while to edit the second one because we know how meticulous he can be on that. But
yes.
Also Sierra retained the Discover Pro Wrestling Championship in a great main event.
Oh yeah, as people would forget, it was a tag match with him and her and Joey, and whoever got pinned.
Yep.
They win. So if Joey got pinned, she would lose.
Yep.
But it didn't work out that way.
Nope, it did
not.
It
worked out in favor for them, which is great.
Yep.
Hell of a match.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Just like I said, folks, look forward to everything coming ahead there once we get everything going with the editing process. But, yeah, DiscoverProWrestling.com. If you haven't already gone there, you gotta. I'm sorry. You do. The first show was phenomenal. The second show was over double the attendance. I believe 244 was the overall attendance.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. No. Hey, it was an absolute phenomenal.
And
show.
we did get Warmth Warfare. It's all on there.
Perfect.
The full show is still on their page, and a lot of extras. The spot they had on Fox News and stuff like that. But then it's who's the gentleman that was from Duluth that made his debut?
Oh yeah. I believe it was Arlen.
Arlen. Yes.
Yes.
From Duluth, Minnesota, making his professional wrestling debut.
Hoping to get him on the show here fairly soon.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a local boy to.
Yeah, right. All right. So we've done the happy, we've done the sad, we've done the tearjerker. Before we even get into the wonder that is WrestleMania weekend, we got to talk about a few other things. First of all, Ring of Honor Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor was last night. We'll be talking with Jesse about that on Monday.
Yep.
We still have to catch it a little bit there, but from all intents and purposes, Gene was watching it live. I guess the Briscoes and FTR far exceeded anyone's expectations, but I'm like, I didn't have any expectations for that match because they were going to exceed whatever expectations I had. It's FTR versus the Briscoes.
And then I see the Young Bucks reared their head.
Oh,
well, you know, if FTR and the Young Bucks are going to go after each other again, I really hope it's in like ROH window, and I hope Tony.
I think it's this Wednesday.
You think it's going to be this Wednesday?
That's what I've heard. I don't know for a fact, but we've also said on the show, I'm not. I swear to God, if the Bucks pull that out again, folks, there's no more defending Tony Khan. Although there's not much defending him either way. We will say this: we are very happy for Samoa Joe to be back in the ring.
Yep.
Like I've said before, Leroy, I think WWE has their ideas of what they want health-wise with wrestlers. We've talked about Vince extending careers. If they didn't think they could work with Joe, that's business. You move on.
Yep.
Doesn't mean Joe still can't wrestle. It's just WWE didn't want to take the risk. That's
medically, I mean, same with Sting. Medically, they didn't want to take the risk. Which is fine.
And once again, here at the show, we're incredibly happy for both of them to continue their careers. Don't get that twisted. But but anyway, needless to say.
What, earlier in the week at AEW?
Oh, they had an interesting week.
Another debut.
Oh boy,
just getting old.
Oh, good.
I'm happy for her. You know, if she got her stuff.
We talked here at the show. If she's okay, if everything's good, we wish nothing but the best for Toni Storm.
Totally.
However, I got two words that make me nervous. Ruby Soho.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Where has Ruby Soho been since winning that Battle Royal?
Nowhere.
Not even the AEW fans know.
No.
And by the way, it's funny because this started coming up a lot on the internet this last couple of weeks. A lot of people are starting to realize you're doing a lot with big talent on YouTube, but not on TV.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
And they're not promoting it.
Oh, God. Well, see, that's the only thing I've ever said. If they're going to turn around and they're going to tell me, hey, we have all these shows, can somebody please, for the love of God, recap it?
Yeah.
Can you cut two of the matches that you have on Dynamite by, I don't know, 2 minutes so you can have a 4-minute package that recaps Dark Elevation, fucking Rampage even?
Well, Rampage is doing better. You know,
well, actually,
they're having. Oddly
enough,
it's an hour. They're doing better matches.
Well, okay, it's a better show. It's not better ratings though. They had their lowest rating.
Well, but look what they had to go against.
Yeah, folks.
The NCAA tournament, it's gonna happen.
Okay, but here's the part that we have to understand here. For years, and this is the inexperience of Tony Khan.
Yeah.
For years, wrestling fans understood the ratings are down during football season for Raw.
Yep.
SmackDown really doesn't fight much because they're on Fridays. Not a lot of big championships are on Fridays.
Yeah, usually it's good work, you know.
Yeah.
Good for them.
But, folks, it's March. It's March Madness. You talk about the ratings. Vince goes down a little bit. Everyone's just sitting there like, hey, hey, yo, what are you doing, Vince? And I'm like, there's some great March Madness going on.
Oh, yeah.
Still been great. But it's just, folks, sporting events are still a wider range. They just are. And they're also something that you really can't go back and watch afterwards because you want to see it happen live because it happens and it's gone, and there also really isn't a lot of prediction to it.
No.
You can sit there and say, well, that's a number 2 seed, that's a number 15 seed. How'd that work out for Kentucky? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. St. Peter's went all the way to the Elite Eight. Got walloped by North Carolina.
Yeah, but it's like in wrestling, wrestling is great live.
Yeah.
So but the weekly shows, like I do, I don't watch Raw on Monday because I don't have USA.
Right.
I watch it on Tuesday.
Right.
I watch NXT. I watch it afterwards. It's edited down, so less commercials like that. But I still get the whole feel and the big things of the show, which is still good.
But here's the deal. We're happy for Toni Storm.
Yes. Please don't get buried.
I hope that they push her to the moon because they should.
She totally deserves it.
Because she is that good. She is that talented. And WWE, as we all know, was working their way towards that. But Toni just obviously hit a point in her life where she needed a change. We said on the show, nothing but love for her on that.
Oh, yes.
And 100% wish her nothing but the best.
She had to take care of herself. Yep. And she's in the Owen Hart tournament.
Yep.
And that's I don't know. Yeah. Did you hear? Is there anything that they're getting out of this?
I'm not 100% sure. In this moment, I think it's either a title shot or just the trophy itself.
Okay.
But interestingly enough, Leroy.
Yeah.
Tony Khan said something a while back, and he said it with a lot of confidence.
He said a lot of things with confidence.
And I believe it was he had more money than a certain man in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Whose name I will not bring up because you should know it by now.
Yeah.
Leroy, AEW has informed a number of talent that they're making budget cuts.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It sounds like some other people.
It sounds like something that it sounds like something that a certain Titan in Connecticut would do. Oh, but wait, there's more money in AEW. No, it's finally time for Tony to come to the fire. We're gonna hold your feet to it, and you're gonna have to admit that you got into bed with two dudes who sold you a bill of goods. You overpaid for way too many people.
Oh my God!
You didn't need that many people.
No.
And we'll talk about the number in a second because there's another thing that we got to talk to Tony about. But Leroy, why is it that when Vince does budget cuts, people are at his door with torches and pitchforks, but Tony does it, and now all of a sudden those same people want to come to me and be like, well, all companies have budget issues. I'm like, really? I said the same thing about Vince about a year ago. And y'all want to sit there and tell me, y'all want to sit there.
There are a lot of Vince haters.
Folks.
That's it.
Folks, you have to understand. You can't get mad because WWE does something, but then be like, oh, well, that's just business, when AEW does the same damn thing. Budget cuts.
Yeah.
Marco Stunt, who should have never been signed in the first place because he never did a damn thing worth of anything. Marco Stunt made more money in the last couple of years that he was signed to AEW for doing nothing than he ever made on the indies circuit. And it's an absolute just ridiculous amount of money that he should have never been paid because nobody else would have paid it to him. There isn't a damn wrestling promotion in the country that would have paid Marco Stunt when he got paid by Tony Khan.
I mean, coming in to just be a gimmick or whatever, yeah. But other than that,
he was a mascot for a dinosaur.
Yeah, and there was nothing to him.
Folks,
how big is he? Like our size?
Marco Stunt, I think, is like 5'4".
Oh my God!
I think I looked this up one time.
He's smaller than me.
Let me just look this up one more time.
Oh my God!
But if I remember correctly, Marco Stunt
is a little shit.
Oh yeah, very. Okay. First of all, he's 25. Look, I can say this now. Look here, young man. Calm yourself. Calm down.
Oh yeah, I can say that too because he's old. He's 2 years younger than my son.
Yeah, well, guess what? Your son's probably bigger because Marco Stunt is listed at 5'2", 117 pounds.
Holy crap! I have turds bigger than him.
Oh my God. But here's the deal, folks. This is another AEW hypocrisy moment that I'm not letting people off the hook on, because you people sat up there and you vilified Vince and you said, well, that's bullshit that he says, hey guys, it's budget cut, sorry. Like, what's this then?
Yeah.
Explain to me what this is, but Vince gets crap, but hold on. But everyone's like, well, Vince had record profits. Tony still has more money, according to Tony.
Yep.
I want to make this clear. And I want to get away from wrestling for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, no problem.
You and I are grown men.
Oh, yeah.
We're adults. We have bills to pay. We got rent. We have expenses. I got to take care of my family. You got to take care of your lovely family.
Yeah.
Folks, at the end of the day, Leroy and I get along just fine because we say what we say and we do what we do. But the problem is that Tony Khan talks a lot of talk, but doesn't walk his walk, and I'm just supposed to look at the right hand, which is him walking, and forget what's in his left hand, which is what he already told me, which is he can afford everybody. He can make everyone into a star. He's the booker of the... He said all of this stuff. He bragged about the money, which isn't even his. Even though, yes, reportedly he bought ROH with his own money because Dad probably wasn't writing that check.
No,
he bid against himself. For a company that lost $284,000 over 2 years, Dad, who's a billionaire, is going to be like, I'm going to pay $40 million for that? The hell are you talking about? It ain't even worth 10.
No, it ain't. And as some people would say, they really wish Vince would have, bought ROH. Yeah,
and that's true.
And that would have been good.
And
he would have bought the library, but that's what he would have got.
And that's true what you said.
Maybe.
I've actually found a decent number of people who do wish that Vince had bought it because some stuff would have been done with it. But the thing about it is that, like you said, Leroy, Vince is a businessman, not a wrestling person.
Yeah.
So Vince would have looked at it from a business perspective, which is the only value is the library. Because
not all the talent.
Because remember, there was no talent when he bought it.
No.
They'd all been released from their contracts.
Yeah.
So basically, you bought something for $40 million that had lost almost $500,000 over the last 2 years of its existence. It had no actual employees other than a few production guys, and you paid $40 million for that. I'm sorry, but if an actual business rater comes in and gives you a letter grade, that's probably an F.
Yes.
That's probably an F for purchasing. Because I think the library might have been worth like $3 million. Tops.
I think so. I do think so.
And by the way, remove the lovely memories we have of ROH. Remove this. Remove that. The actual value might have been $3 million. Arguably.
Yeah, I think so.
But here's the deal. Leroy, you don't have a problem with someone if they back up what they say. You have no issue with somebody if they tell you, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and they actually do it. Now, sometimes people say they're going to do X, Y, and Z, but something prevents them from getting it done. But you can see that. You can understand that. It makes sense. Tony, what has stopped you? You have an unlimited budget. It's your fucking money that you're spending, because we all know that Turner's not paying for this shit anymore. But, Tony, where's the budget? Hold on.
There's no budget.
You actually have a budget now? Oh, wait. You had this budget the whole time? Then why did you sign 150 wrestlers?
Because he's stupid.
Well, I mean, I'd like a little more debate on that, but you're not wrong. There's nothing else to debate. Now we have to get to something else. At our friends at all, I don't even know what to call them. Spot Monkey, we'll call them.
Well, yeah, it works.
But here's the deal. Reportedly, Tony Khan had a very heated discussion with a certain talent over there. Leroy, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
It was just stupid.
Arguably is one of the most talented young wrestlers in the business.
Oh, God, yes.
easily the best heel you've seen in the business since the old territory days. I think you just believe that.
He is old school heel territory
He is guy. At this
Definitely.
point, I think he's 24 years old, 25 maybe at his oldest. And his contract is up in, was it 2024, January of 2024?
I believe it's 24.
Okay,
yes.
so he goes on a podcast, an interview, if you will.
Yeah.
And he simply says, there's going to be a bidding war when my contract comes up. And if WWE pays the right thing, yeah, I'll go there.
Did he say exactly WWE, or did he say he'll go for where the money is?
He said he'll go where the money's right, but he also brought up WWE specifically. Hey, if they make the right offer, I'm going. You know what's funny? All of a sudden, the AEW fans want to talk about standards and practices. All of a sudden, AEW has been this well-run machine that's been around for 50 years and has a business side to it, and everybody has to deal with the business side of it, and everybody has to do business the right way with the business people in the business office. Are you getting where I'm going with this?
It's
all of a sudden, y'all want to talk business and talk about the HR and the PR department. You want to talk 150 plus wrestlers. You think they all get every interview approved?
No.
Bullshit. Not a one of them has gotten every interview. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. He's been a wrestling promoter for, let's say, 3 years.
Yeah.
3-4 years. Why does he now all of a sudden care that MJF did an interview? Because it wasn't approved? Oh. So let me get this straight. Because, again, try saying this out loud. I don't think a lot of people did this. So let me get this straight. You got about 150 plus wrestlers who apparently, according to what you're saying, approve every single interview that they do, every single photo shoot that they do, every single thing is being processed through your PR department. Public relations, by the way, is what we're talking to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you are apparently only now being reported getting in a heated confrontation with somebody who spoke in an interview about, I'll leave and go somewhere else if the money's right. So he has talked many times, Maxwell Jacob Friedman has, about certain things. Whether it was in character or not, Leroy, Tony Khan's pissed.
Yeah.
And they may have worked things out to put on a face backstage. Let's make this clear. Maxwell Jacob Friedman doesn't give a rat's hairy ass about Tony Khan. But he wouldn't give a rat's hairy ass about Vince either. He wants his money. See, the problem here is...
He's looking out for number one.
Well, here's the deal. Let's go back to these budget cuts, shall we?
Oh,
Marco Stunt, Joey Janela, the bad boy.
Oh, God help me.
Reportedly, we're all getting paid 6 fucking figures, which no one else in the world was going to give them.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the world thought they were worth it. But Tony was sold a bill of goods by 2 dudes in Rancho Cucamonga, and all of a sudden, all these wrestlers are getting paid way more than they should. And I'm sure that MJF came in on a 6-figure deal. I think he would have had to. He had some. He had some momentum coming out of MLW.
Yeah, he did definitely. So he's worth it.
Leroy, what has happened since the inception of Spot Monkey Wrestling? Oh, that's right. You have real talent now that are there because you're paying everybody, and their name alone. Because here's the deal: if Vince was willing to pay what they got in AEW, they wouldn't be in AEW.
No, they wouldn't be.
Are you kidding me? No. No. I understand that Paul White was a little angry what happened on Legends Night. I get that. But Paul White's been sort of misused multiple times in his career.
Oh, yeah. This happens a lot.
CWCW, need I say more.
Yeah.
See the Giant in the NWO, need I say more. But, Leroy, if Vince offered that kind of money, I think they'd still be working up north with Vince, don't you?
Oh, totally.
So, here's my thing. They got Punk. They got the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. They got Christian Cage. They got real talent. And MJF, arguably, is still one of the highest rated things they have. So, of course, he wants Punk money.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all.
Now, Cody didn't get Punk money. Cody left AEW. We're going to talk about him in a little bit here. Is tonight the night or is it Sunday? We don't know yet. We're going to find out.
All right, yes.
Or maybe Monday, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world either.
No, it would not be.
But, Leroy, so, again, say it out loud. You're just now getting angry because a guy went on a interview. Approved or not, don't miss me with that BS.
Well,
you're mad because it wasn't approved. No, you're mad because he looked at the entire world on a live broadcast and said, if the money's right, of course I'm going to the competition.
There isn't going to be any athlete out there at any professional sport if somebody asks him, do you think you're going to stay with this company? Yeah, I'll probably stay with the team, but
you
if
love
another
working for
team...
Quick Trip, but if you could get the same benefits package and let's say $100,000 a year, you'd go work for anybody else.
Yeah. If I'm getting a better offer to make more money and to make my life more stable,
yeah,
I'm jumping at it.
That's
and ain't nobody going to do any different.
Folks, and I'm willing to say the same thing, but I love where I work. So do you.
Yeah.
But it's also the best thing for us right now in our lives.
Yeah.
It's our best option. But I've said many times that something better comes along, I'm out of here. I'd be stupid not to.
Yeah.
Because I have to think about myself and I have to think about my family. If you got the ability to put your kids through college, you'd leave for that opportunity.
I'd jump at in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because you have obligations. I have obligations. Right now, our current company, who we love, meets those obligations.
Yep.
But life is about opportunity.
Yeah.
And MJF, right now, is getting paid peanuts compared to some other guys who've come in. And like I said, there's no way Adam Cole's there for six figures. That's a 7-figure deal if I ever saw one.
Damn
like,
right. I just know MJF, he's getting an offer, and and WWE offers him something, he's gonna jump.
And
it would be dumb of him not to, because WWE is gonna be here no matter if Vince McMahon is with us or not. WWE is still gonna be with us.
But we also have to realize something. Back to my earlier comment about Tony has more money. Well, wait, I thought it was reported that Kevin Owens stayed in WWE because they made him an offer that AEW couldn't match. Mm-hmm. He's making about $2 or $3 million a year. That's what was reported for KO. And by the way, KO is going to have so much fun tonight because there's not a bigger fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin than Kevin Owens. We know that.
Well, yes.
He's made that abundantly clear. He was a fan of the Ringmaster.
Yeah, the Ringmaster, not the greatest thing. But hey, I mean, you got to go through the bumps and bruises and get everything. So.
But anyway, so let's just say for a second, Kevin Owens is the bar, right?
Yeah.
Let's just cap it out at $3 million. I'm okay with that. $3 million. So, Tony, you're telling me that if WWE gives MJF a $4 million deal, you're just going to stop? You're not going to make this guy an offer? Are you kidding me right now?
They just might.
You have said so much contradictory shit that nobody wants to acknowledge. And we're the only ones talking about it. Because we're talking about what you said.
Yeah.
Jericho's probably making more than MJF. We know Punk and Danielson are making more than MJF. We know that Paul White is making more than MJF. We know that Mark Henry probably signed for more than MJF. And MJF, he is arguably the most entertaining thing that they have.
Yes.
If MJF starts your show and then teases something later in the night, your ratings, in my opinion, would actually consistently be 1 million.
Oh, they would be totally. But
the problem is that he's not on your show multiple times. And by the way, Go Home SmackDown for WrestleMania didn't need Roman and Brock.
No, it didn't.
Their hype's set.
Oh, yes.
They're the main event. They didn't have to physically be there for their shit to matter. All you needed was the video package.
Yes.
Everybody else needed their shit to be hyped. That shit's hyped enough. We're going to talk about the card here in a little bit. But here's the deal.
Well, we're going to talk about that. No, we'll talk about night one. That'll be for night 2.
Yeah.
So I'll be ready for that.
But anyway.
Yes.
Leroy, you have anything to say to Mr. Khan that isn't just shut up? Because come on. Think about it for 5 seconds. Do you really think for 5 seconds that he's mad that he didn't go to the PR department?
No.
There's no way that's the real reason.
He's mad because of what he said. He said the honest to God truth. Yeah, if they offer me running man, I'm going to go. Just, Tony, deal with it. You don't have to make a big fuss about it. Do it and just, as I did, shut up. It's like, no, whatever. Keep your ducks in a row. Try to make a better company.
Yeah.
And keep working. Get your company better. Get your talent. Get your everything better. And then you'll have the money to offer him when that time comes up. If he's still going.
All I got to say is this. We got some good cookies here. We live in a world where people need to start realizing there's a left and there's a right hand. Look at both hands. It's really that simple. If Leroy's telling me one thing but doing the other, but I'm seeing both of them, I'm gonna call some shit on that. I'm gonna call bullshit. But
I hope you do.
But that's the problem with AEW. Y'all are so busy watching what Tony's doing over here in his left hand that you're forgetting that there's a second hand. You're forgetting that there's a whole nother universe of stuff that you don't want to talk about because, let's just say it, you don't want to admit that he's doing the same shit that Vince has been doing for 50 years. Mm-hmm. It's just shitty.
Yeah.
You don't want to admit that it's real. You don't want to admit that the veil of, AEW is the greatest thing in wrestling. Yeah, here's the deal, folks. They have the same problems WWE has. You just don't want to admit it. They're trying to run
theirs is worse.
But that's because Tony has never treated this like a business from the start.
He's treating it like his wrestling ring in the basement.
You're smoking weed. You're smoking weed with underneath girl talent who should have been in your main event because she was.
Yes.
She was winning. Sadly, she was, but nobody wants to talk about it because why? It was on Dark. But anyway, you're smoking weed with a talent. You're buddies with the Bucks. You were friends with Cody. Cody's reality show proved that enough. And now, Cody, the only one who kind of was trying to make it into a wrestling company, is gone. We might see him tonight. Might see him tomorrow. Might see him Monday. He might not even be with the WWE, although all indications are pointing to he's with the WWE.
Yep.
But here's the deal. Tony, as long as you're speaking, as long as you're talking, as long as you exist in the wrestling business, I will be here. Leroy will be here. We will personally be here to call you out on the bullshit that you talk about.
Every chance we get.
We're not going to forget what you said. I don't care, Tony, that you're putting on these big shows. I don't care if you even finally turn around and give me a good pay-per-view that I can sit there and say, holy crap, I enjoyed myself. One, it's a pay-per-view that I even maybe sort of possibly would have paid for if I had to. Maybe.
We're good. We don't have to pay.
But here's the deal, Tony. As long as you're speaking, and as long as shit gets thrown on you, and as long as you react to it like a 5-year-old, I'm going to be here to smack your kindergarten ass as hard as I can with a truth, pal, that says, shut up. You don't have to react to everything. You couldn't have called in Max and said, hey, Max, you put on this great dog collar match. You've been one of the best things on my TV since day one. Why don't we just, rip up the last 2 years of this deal and let's renegotiate now?
Because he's not that smart.
Because I'm sorry, Leroy.
That's what I would have done. That's what other teams, other sports team and athletes do sometimes is they rework a contract to keep them longer and give them a better deal in the long run. That's the right thing to do. But he's not learning that from his dad.
But the point is, well, that's because his dad can't sign anybody worth.
Well, okay, all right.
Here's my point. If I'm the Vikings, and I got myself a hell of a rookie wide receiver in Justin Jefferson, now I'm still trying to win, so I want to make sure that I get talent. And Minnesota's had a fantastic free agency. They've made a lot of moves with a lot of money they didn't have to begin with. But if we get to a point where, okay, we kind of need to make sure we keep a star around. If it's in 2-3 years and our Super Bowl window's closed and you want to keep Justin Jefferson, I'm going to go Justin Jefferson and be like, all right, look, we got your 5th-year option. We're in the 3rd year of this technically 5-year deal. You know, you're not getting paid a bunch. You're cheap, but you're one of the best receivers in football. Knock on wood that he stays healthy.
Yes.
Why don't we just take your current deal and we'll either tear it up and we'll give you more money right now, or you stay on that deal, but when that deal expires, we're going to jump your salary from, I don't know, $800,000 to going rate for wide receiver if he stays good and he stays healthy, and we'll give him $16 million a year.
Yeah, it probably will be that.
But see, Leroy, that's the thing. If you're so mad, because now we're going to talk truth. Okay, now we're going to now I'm going to say what's real, not what the internet wants me to believe. Because again, left and right hand.
Oh yeah.
Tony, if you're so mad that MJF is talking about leaving because he's going to get the best offer for him and he's going to let the bidding war happen and he's going to do what every athlete wishes they could do, which is sit at home and watch those offers come in left and right. Your phone's ringing. Twitter's got this. This is reported. All that. Your agent's got 7 things on his desk. Just call him into your office and say, hey, I know I got you for 2 more years. Why don't we just tear this deal up? And tomorrow, we'll start paying you more. We'll give you a bonus, and then at the end of the year, your salary jumps from whatever 500-some thousand or whatever he's making per year to $2 million. I don't think MJF's going to leave AEW if you sit him down right now and you say, okay, what's a number that you're happy with? Let's not even let him get to the negotiating table. Because in my opinion, WWE, Jesse's pointed this out before, they have a few connections with some other entertainment people that, you know, Maxwell over here, I don't think your boss right now, Tony, has the connections that Vince does.
No.
I don't think that you have as many opportunities to go be a movie star in AEW as you do with the WWE. Because that's the thing. Vince will sit there and say, hey, I'll pay you $3 million, but I got some movies lined up for you. I got some people that might want to talk to you on some talk shows. Vince is still the dominant brand in America. And the world, arguably.
I think they have more to offer, too, because, I mean, signing him with that is like, yeah, signing for more money there, but okay. Does MJF want to be a champion? Why not? Everybody does. Does Tony have that available? Yeah. But is he going to offer that? If Vince offers him, goes, yeah, we'll sign you, we'll give you this much, and then, you know, it's like, do you want to go have a run for the United States title? Do you want Intercontinental title? They're both there.
Yeah.
They have that opportunity. It's like, what would you going to do? And you get that, and then you could get a heavyweight championship. It's right there.
Here's the deal.
Tag team, 2 different ones. Yeah.
Here's the deal. If Maxwell Jacob Freeman re-signs with AEW in the next 6 months, and it comes out that he got this huge payday, okay, Tony, you caved.
Yep.
If he doesn't sign by the end of this year, which will be 2022,
yep,
then that means that, in my opinion, in 2 years, there's going to be a bit of a bidding war here.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be, and by the way, Tony ain't firing him. Tony's not about to release the kid. Are you kidding me? Tony knows how that looks. See, that's the thing. Tony, you're just like your buddies over there, the Bucks. You know exactly what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't want everyone else to see it because then all of a sudden no one's going to buy your merchandise anymore. Tony, you don't re-sign this kid in 6 months. By the end of the year, at worst, he's going to sit back and wait for that bidding war.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Leroy,
I totally would.
And by the way, Leroy, you can't pull him off TV.
No,
you can't. He moves your needle. He adds ratings. You're telling me that with all this public knowledge of your heated argument, with his interview, with this, with that, you're just going to pull this kid off television? Really? No, you're not.
No,
because he's more valuable than you want to admit that he is. If I was Tony Khan, I'd call Max in and say, hey, let's get a deal worked out right now. Let's either add an extension past 2024, or let's literally take the deal you have right now. Let's tear it up, and let's work out a new deal. And by next paycheck, your pay will increase.
Yeah, and that'll work. And give him championship opportunities. I mean, he's one guy that he should.
But he can't, Leroy. He can't because Punk's already talked about going for the world title. Boy.
Even not give him that. You can give him the mid card title for a period of time, waiting for the heavyweight.
It's a cop out.
It is.
Opinion. He's worth so much more.
But that's what they can do if they're going to give Punk that. Yeah, or line it up where you take it from Punk if he gets the belt. I mean, it could work.
The thing about it is that, and all signs right now point to this because we have a 4-year window now where I can prove to all of you it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yep.
If MJF just keeps doing what he's been doing now for the next 2 years, why would he go back?
Yeah, he won't.
You're going to keep... See, here's the problem. Everybody got mad at Vince for years for bringing back Goldberg, for catering to Hogan, for catering to Hall and Nash. Cater to this guy. Cater to that guy. The Rock comes back, beats CM Punk. He's a part-timer. Brock comes back, gets paid more than everybody. First of all, they're attractions. We're not even going to go over that bullshit.
Yes.
That's
right there.
That's decided. But, Tony, you're finally in Vince's world. You signed Punk. You signed Bryan Danielson. You signed Adam Cole. They're bigger stars than what you have. Mm-hmm. You have to cater to them, because if you don't, they're going to go somewhere else. We all know Bryan Danielson had no problem staying Daniel Bryan in WWE. He just wanted opportunities to wrestle more and in other places. And AEW was willing to offer that. That's why he's there.
Yep.
He was more than happy to go back to WWE. Because, again, for all intents and purposes, Bryan's not angry with WWE.
Oh, no, he's not.
Bryan did what he felt was best for what he wanted to do, which was go to Japan to wrestle. Interesting news on that we'll be talking about here in a second. But, Leroy, to wrap this up before we get Jesse in here on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
He's in Vince's world, and he's pretty much proving he's a spoiled little brat who's been silver spooned his whole life, and when real conflict with real talent that doesn't need you shows up. See, that's the problem. Every other talent that he signed, the Marco Stunts, the Joey Janela, they needed Tony Khan.
Oh, yeah.
They were never going to get on Vince's TV. They were never going to get on national television without Tony Khan. Wasn't going to happen. But MJF don't need you, bro.
No, he does not.
MJF.
He can go anywhere.
He can do whatever he wants. He's MJF. He's one of the hottest things in wrestling. So before we move on, Leroy, there's a lot of heat between our boy Tony and MJF. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
But you want to know where they could get some heat but also taste good? Where could they get that heat that also tastes good, Leroy?
Well, how about from our good friend Al Sands with Haitian Heat
Hot Sauce. That's right, folks. Al Sands continuing. Right now, he's a little busy with another fight coming up. COVID's a little bit lifted, so we got a little more opportunity for him to go fight. Leroy's got the base sauce right there. It's a absolutely beautiful sauce. You haven't even opened that one yet, and that one's still and that one looks delicious.
This is the brand new bottle.
Yeah,
and
not as red as the one he gave us, but I'm sure that's been aged a little longer.
This was bottled 11/14.
Okay, yeah. So, and I'm sure it has the same great taste, and I bet you can't wait to throw that on some stuff. I got to figure out what my menu is for tonight for the show because it's night one.
I don't know. Let's see. I don't even know what I'm taking. I don't know what I have.
I might be calling Clyde Iron after this. Go grab myself some of their delicious wings. But, But anyway, no, but just Leroy. Haitian heat hot sauce. It's some of the best flavoring you've ever had on any of your meats. Stuff.
It is.
And you've gone through a lot of it. You've been using it a lot around the house ever since we got it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got like barely anything left in my one bottle. I got to finish that off.
Yep.
So I can, and I said, it's so good, my kids will eat it.
Yeah.
And I said, it's all natural ingredients. You can read all of the ingredients.
Yep.
And that's the best thing. And as we love to say, yeah, we put this shit on everything.
We put that shit on everything.
We do.
Because, folks, it's that damn good. And Al is just a straight-up business person. He'll, he does what he needs to do. And, hey, we love his shit. I mean, it's some good stuff. Cannot wait to throw a little bit of that on my wings tonight for I think I've talked myself into. I gotta get some wings for WrestleMania.
Get some wings.
I gotta get wings from somewhere.
That's a good choice. That's a very good choice.
Anyway, interestingly enough, as we move on, Leroy, going on right now before we even get to the main event, is NXT Stand and Deliver, which is going on right now as you and I are recording this, but we'll go over the recap tomorrow. What does this show look like that people can expect us to review tomorrow?
Well, let's see here. Let's see. Maybe. Oh. I gotta get
so many papers. Much information. You're always so prepared though, so it's great.
Well, and I got all the paperwork. All right, so good old Stand and Deliver. We have I think every championship is up for grabs. This Stand and Deliver. Mm-hmm. We do have the NXT Tag Team Championship. It's gonna be Toxic Attraction,
the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yep. Against Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai.
I love
reteaming again.
I love how they built that. And by the way, for those of you who are like, "Oh, really? They just threw Dakota back with Raquel?" No, you go back and you watch Dakota selling that whole time.
Yes,
going through the motions, this and that, folks. The crowd popped when Raquel's music hit. You can't deny that.
Oh God, yes,
they were waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, and as a lot of people were wondering, why are they going to go against? Well, there's a reason why that they are going for the tag team, and it's going to be different because of the Dusty Cup, Women's Dusty Cup.
Yep.
The next one coming on is going to be the fatal 5-way ladder match. Carmelo Hayes, the champion, Santo Escobar, Solo Cisco, Grayson Walker, and Cameron Grimes. 5-way ladder match.
I gotta say this. I gotta say this. Carmelo Hayes, I don't think he's retaining, and here's why.
Okay.
He's not long for NXT. They love Carmelo Hayes.
I think
he gonna be brought up, and he gonna be a star from day one.
Do you think him and Trick both will be coming up?
I think that you have to bring him because although Carmelo can talk. That's the thing. He doesn't need a hype man, but Trick and him have such a chemistry.
They do. It's great.
They have such a unique rapport with each other. Trick is one of those people that you can tell when a manager is there to do the talking. You can tell when a manager is there to be an issue for the wrestler. And you can also tell when a manager is there and he adds something to that.
Yes.
Trick Williams really does create a very unique vibe around Carmelo Hayes. And I just don't know if Carmelo Hayes is going to win. And if he does, well, then he gets to sit there and say, I'm still the A champ. If he doesn't, and they keep him in NXT, then he has a huge gripe to where now they have to almost rebuild the character in the sense that he made this match. He put it together. He wanted to beat everybody at the same time and didn't do it. But, hey.
Well, when you're going around and dealing with the ladders, we'll
see what happens.
Let's see who gets hurt. My Lord.
Lord above. Sentimental, just give it to my boy Cameron. Please. Can we just...
I'm pulling for him, too. I would love to see him get a title.
Because here's the deal. We've already seen what a freaking entertaining guy he is without a belt. You give him a belt, it's going to be so good.
It will be.
Please let it happen.
Yes.
That'll be my Yano moment since Yano has not yet to win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. But anyway, what do we got coming up next?
All right, we have
Oh, by the way, before we move on, the build up to this match has been great. Every guy has had a great standing
Oh God, yes.
Walking into this match, and you know what? To sort of paraphrase off the name of the show, I think they'll deliver.
Yes, definitely. The next match, it's Tommaso Ciampa against Tony D'Angelo. You mean, as he said, Tommaso was the Don, and Tony wants to be the new Don. I think that's going to be a very good match.
I think Tommaso's going to
be his last match.
I think it's going to be his last match because I think that Tommaso, as Jesse has talked about in the show, I think he wants to give the main roster at least a year. I think he wants to give it a shot. I think that Tommaso is looking at NXT, and it's not the NXT that he helped build, but it's still a great 3 letters. Sorry, folks. I say it every show, but it deserves to be said. If you ain't watching 2.0, that's on you at this point.
Yes,
definitely. No reason why you shouldn't be watching a show that's got great talent. Yeah, there's some weird, sort of awkward storylines, but what wrestling show doesn't have? Are you telling me AEW's got better storylines than NXT? No,
not even close.
But the thing about it is this. I think Tommaso is finally ready to walk. I think he's done. I think he's willing to give something else a chance. Because the truth is that Leroy, he can't grab any more brass rings in NXT. He can't.
No, he can't. No, it's done.
He's the GOAT of NXT. He is the greatest of all time to ever be in NXT. I don't know how you ever surpassed what he's done in NXT. He's been the most beloved man in NXT. He's been the most hated guy in NXT.
Yes.
He's helped usher in this new era very well, mind you. I think it's going to be a very unique thing, and I think that Tony D'Angelo is going to win, in my opinion, because I think that if in fact Tommaso is moving up the Raw after WrestleMania, or even the SmackDown after WrestleMania, God, have you ever been more excited for a Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania? There's so much potential in the next week of wrestling.
It is. Oh my God, it's going to be very nice. So.
Oh, by the way, for those of you reporting or wondering, it's been reported Tony Khan has also been not allowing wrestlers to work indie events during WrestleMania week. Funny how that was also sort of glossed over. Anyway, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. But no, I think it's going to be Tony D'Angelo because I think he's done, and more power to Tommaso for moving up in the world. And again, like I said, his legacy couldn't. Like, seriously, you can't make a better legacy in NXT than what he already did.
No. And the people's like, oh, he's going to lose his last match. He's putting a guy over if he does lose.
Yep.
He's a professional.
Because just like with what Johnny Gargano did to Grayson Waller on his way out of NXT, Grayson Waller, like we said, is a made heel. Tony D'Angelo's a made man for basically getting rid of Tommaso Ciampa.
Yep.
But hey, Tony D'Angelo will have gotten rid of Tommaso Ciampa and Pete Dunne.
Oof. There's really the LA Knight is the only one left.
Which, by the way, folks, Pete Dunne literally said in an interview, "I don't give a shit what they call me.
He's wrestling. Who cares?"
It's just, folks, the wrestlers can say yes or no to a name. Now, if you say no, they might keep you off TV a little longer till they find a name that you can agree to. But obviously, Leroy, he took the first opportunity he could to go out there and make a splash.
Yep, it's a way to do it.
And I don't care what you want to call him. You can call him Dandelion for all I want. When he gets between those ropes, he's a dangerous mofo. He really is.
Oh God, yes.
All right, what else we got?
All right, up next this is the little twist with the Dusty Cup for the ladies.
Yep.
There is a fatal 4-way for the NXT Women's Champions because Io and Kaylee Ray decided to cash their championship in on Mandy Rose.
Yes.
Having a fatal 4-way.
It's going to be really interesting to me. I don't know where you go with Mandy Rose if she loses, but at the same time, I don't think it's stale, but I think it has gotten to a point where maybe leave while it's still hot.
Yes.
Leave it be where it is. Maybe it's time to move the belt on to somebody else. Maybe it's time to really move on from Mandy Rose.
And is it time for Cora Jade? I mean, you give it back to Io, but she's been there. I don't think she doesn't need it.
Io Shirai, in my opinion, needs to go to the main roster because Io Shirai is not being seen by enough eyes at the perfection. And I use that word knowing full well what the definition is, but that's her in-ring style is just she's on point, she's athletic. She looks great. She has this amazing charisma to her. Just Io Shirai, in my opinion, needs to go to Raw or SmackDown because she'll make that division legit the second she walks in.
And hopefully after this, she might. But Cora Jade or Kaylee Ray holding the title, I mean, either one of them would be great.
Yeah.
And maybe if Toxic does lose, maybe that'll be the change too. Maybe all
we'll have to wait and see. So. I think the tag match definitely will determine what happens with the women's match because I really don't know how you look at Toxic Attraction with the same visceral hate if they're not all draped in gold. I think it's an image that they have to portray.
Still great to look at, but
nothing wrong with that. Next match.
All right, the next match is a triple threat for the men's NXT Tag Tournament with Imperium, the Creed Brothers, and MSK.
Imperium is that tag team that years ago you would have loved to watch because it's so technical. The Creed Brothers are powerhouses, and then MSK just flies. This is the perfect combination of tag teams.
Am I wrong? Did Imperium get more buff?
They are certainly looking like it.
Holy shit!
I think part of that is Walter is now Gunther, and if you can tell, Gunther's definitely losing a lot of weight.
He has toned up too.
And I think that while Gunther has worked on his physique, they've come right along with him into sort of chiseling out that last sort of look.
They still were they were pretty chiseled before.
Yes.
But they have become even more chiseled. Very impressed with their look right now.
Now, I will say this: I don't know who's winning this. Here's the. I don't think it's bad either way because Imperium still has a lot of heat to where they're still good as tag team champions. People loved MSK's first run. They're very indicative of what I think tag team wrestling is. And then the Creeds have won over everybody. Everybody thought they were going to be Botchamania when they first started wrestling, and all of a sudden these guys are having some of the best tag team. They got people standing on their toes.
I honestly,
every match.
I think they're going to pull the trigger on the Creed, and they get it. I think them going forward and going back and forth with Imperium.
Yeah.
I mean, I think them two going,
and then
throwing MSK in there later on. Yeah.
And then this Wednesday, we learn the mystery team.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm sorry, this Tuesday. We learn
about Wednesday. But
now, I don't know who that's going to be.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a repackage that people might think is a bit of a letdown, or it's a team of signees that we haven't seen yet.
There's a good possibility.
We'll
you never know.
Okay, but following that up, we have
LA Knight and Gunther.
Now, this is my opinion. I think Gunther destroys Knight.
Yes.
And then Knight goes to Raw or SmackDown because how is he not a Vince guy?
Totally.
I'm being serious here.
I totally agree.
Care that he has a weird name. He's made it work for himself. He's so charismatic. I don't think he's someone. Pardon me.
Okay, that's all right.
I don't think he's someone that comes up to main roster and Vince buries, because I think that he gets already what Vince wants. I think he comes up and he immediately will have a connection with the fans that Vince will just look at and be like, okay, I need this guy.
Yep. And he would be great, starting out on Raw.
Yep.
Possibly feuding with Finn.
Well,
or even with Ricochet and Smith. I mean, he could go in that, jump into that mid card very close, very quickly, and be singles. I don't think there's anybody for a tag team or anything with him, but for a singles run, he has a lot of people. I mean, him and AJ going one-on-one, that would be great.
Everything that he already does on mic, the fans already get.
Oh, yeah.
The fans are already aware of. He walks in, and they're going to click with him right away. I just LA Knight's destined for main roster very quickly.
Oh yeah. Then to wind it out for the night.
Yep.
It's the NXT Championship. Dolph Ziggler, the champion, going against the former champion Braun Breaker, who the veil was pulled across and everybody knew, but he's Steiner's boy.
Yep.
I thought that was surprising that they actually let it go.
Well, but remember.
But he inducted his uncle and his dad into the Hall of Fame. I think that's probably why.
Leroy, can we just be honest for 10 seconds?
Oh,
for
sure.
all the people out there hating on Vince and creative, you don't think Vince McMahon didn't want to take full advantage of the fact that he's a fucking Steiner?
Mm-hmm. And Braun...
Braun
didn't want it.
In what world does Vince McMahon not want to take advantage of the Steiner name?
Oh,
that's the part that the internet has yet to explain to me. In what universe, in what multiverse of madness, can't wait for the movie, in what multiverse realm does Vincent Kennedy McMahon not want to exploit the Steiner name for money?
Yeah, and it was Braun that says, no, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
It was his choice, so I had more power to him.
Yeah, we're done with that, but it's just, it was bound to happen if he goes to main roster. I don't know if he's going to stick with the Braun Breaker name. They might actually go a little more Stein with that. Who knows? But
maybe.
I hate to be that guy. This Dolph Ziggler thing has worked, and it's worked really, really well.
Yes.
Dolph is almost reborn in a little bit. It's almost like Dolph left WWE, went to a different territory back in the day, and just found a new reinvention of himself. Comes in and it's like, yeah, I'm that snot-nosed guy from the big company up north, but just it comes in and just immediately, because I mean, you look at the audience of NXT 2.0, they're not booing in a way that they don't want to see Dolph. They're booing him because Dolph legitimately makes them angry.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, go watch Evil on Peacock. It's phenomenal.
I started watching some of that.
Allison,
oh wow.
Allison got to see. She got to get the NWO story behind Hollywood Hogan. So she knows that. And she watched Miz's ride, which was... You can't hate Mike Mizzana after all this stuff. And by the way, for them... And by the way, proof that WWE's not mad with Bryan Danielson. That was there.
Yep.
He was in the documentary. He spoke about it. They showed the promo that was in a lot of ways. I don't think that was Miz. I think that was Mike.
That could have been, yes.
Just like Maurice said, I think that was Mike finally trying to tell people, love or hate me, I've been doing this. And I've been doing it for a long. He's a 2-time Grand Slam champion.
Uh-huh. Not many people can say that.
No.
Yeah.
And love or hate him, you love to hate him.
Yes, we do.
And by the way, fucking fantastic that you have somebody in this world that even with the reality show that is him, still being okay with the fact that everywhere he goes, they throw rotten fruit at him. He loves it. He can't get enough of it. Hate him more. He loves that.
He
wants nothing more.
As a promo, he loves being a bad guy.
Exactly.
I have not yet watched that one yet, but I reminisce watching the Hogan one. I'm gonna watch it. I got to get down to it and sit down and be able to watch the rest of them which again,
it'll
be unreal.
It'll be interesting to see how Jesse's book report goes because he's reading Eric's book that I gave him.
Yeah.
You can have it afterwards.
Yeah,
you can read that. It's gonna be. It was really interesting because I think you saw the real Eric Bischoff in that interview. I don't think that was the Bischoff of WCW.
Think so.
I think that was just Eric being Eric.
Yeah, I agree with you right there. Yeah, totally.
I think that you got the guy who basically said Turner merged. They did it again, but folks. That's what happened. Seriously, the first episode needs to be on repeat for Tony Khan to watch. And here's why.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I want to make sure that you know this because you'll slap me very hard.
Oh, give me a chance, yes.
Well, okay, hold on. I know you'll do it for free, but let me give you...
Okay. I'm going to get paid to do it? Holy shit.
In no way am I saying... I want to preface this. I am not saying that the Bucks are in any way bigger than Hall and Nash. We all know that's not true.
Not even close.
But Tony, That's your future with guys getting to do what they want all the time. Because, you have your love of Hogan, but you know as well as I do, he had a mind for business, maybe not necessarily wrestling.
Yeah.
He understood the wrestling business. He just didn't understand wrestling. So, you know as well as I do, there's probably a lot of truth behind Hogan going, oh, no, I'm the guy.
And I'm staying the guy.
You know that as well as I do.
Yeah. When you're on top, you want to stay on top.
Yep, pretty much. But anyway, I can't wait for NXT Stand and Deliver. Yes. I think, in my opinion, they want Braun on main roster as soon as possible.
I think so.
I think this is the perfect opportunity to move Braun up. Because here's the deal. People say there's a detriment to moving Braun up because he's only had like 30 matches in his career. At the same time, though, he's young. He's still inexperienced, but he gets a lot of little nuances. So now put him on main roster, and he can learn from main roster.
But here's the fun question.
Yeah.
Should he be on Raw or should he be on SmackDown? On Raw, who's going to do it? If he goes on SmackDown, Paul Heyman is going to be there.
Yeah.
And that would be great.
Put him on Raw.
And
here's why.
Okay.
Put him on Raw because he gets to work with what I think is a very good main event scene. And he gets to learn a little bit. He can get his feet wet. Because, again, we don't know what's happening with the world titles after Sunday.
Supposedly unification.
Okay.
So, but we don't know what that means.
Okay,
totally.
When Brock Lesnar left Raw to go to SmackDown back as the next big thing, Raw needed a champion. Well, they pulled the belt out. That's when
the old big gold, which is sitting right up there. Yes.
That's when the big gold belt came out. So, is it going to be a situation like that? Or is it a situation where now Roman travels to both shows?
Yeah. Or Brock, depending on who wins.
Yeah.
I can guess your opinion of who you think. You think who's going to pull it off.
I think we all have Roman doing this, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that would work with the storyline saying, I am the head of the table. Yeah. I run this company.
So we'll have to see where where that goes after that. But
yes.
I think if you're Braun, keep him out of the main event scene for right now. Don't shoot him right to the top. Get him up early so that he learns the little nuances. Get him up there. Get him ready for camera angles. Get him ready for bigger crowds, get him ready for bigger production, get him ready for the daily grind of everything, get him ready, and then in probably a year to 2 years, he'll be the guy.
Yeah, and he has undoubtedly 3 wonderful people to work with on there. AJ, Edge, and Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's it. And then if Dolph comes back in, he can work Dolph and Robert Roode.
Yeah.
2 other people that we create for him to work with.
But hey, all respect to Dolph for doing this.
Oh, God, yes.
He's done a great job.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
All right. So now we're going to move on here. We have a big 2-night stupendous WrestleMania.
Stupendous.
Before we get to that, though, we got to talk about our friends down in Las Vegas at Dark Arts Entertainment. Dark Arts Entertainment, live pro wrestling with a hybrid feel.
You got that?
All the way.
All right.
I've got it. Don't worry.
Yes, all right. You got it?
Yeah,
oh, I know. I had it written down here.
I always have it. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, I just had it written down. But
Dark Arts Entertainment presents live pro wrestling monthly at the Super Beast Training Compound located in the Arts District of Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. A hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel. Dark Arts shows also include live band, sideshow entertainment, food, beer, and as always are 420 friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Come see top talent and matchups you won't find in any other promotion in Vegas. For more information or to get tickets, head over to darkartsvegas.com or grab our official mobile app from the App Store for either iOS or Android today. I don't know. I haven't heard if they have anything going on for WrestleMania weekend.
No, I don't know.
But hey, go look them up. They got some great shows that we cannot wait to see. Can't Can't wait to go hopefully see a couple of those shows at some point because they're just going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah, I know.
With everything that they're doing.
Funny was working a show sometime because he had a lovely video of him putting his face paint on.
Yeah.
That was
at WrestleCon. So
was it WrestleCon?
Yeah,
okay,
so I was busy. But anyway, Leroy.
Yeah. What's
night 1 of WrestleMania? We got 2 nights, 3 shows. Tonight, we're only going to give you night 1 of WrestleMania because we're going to recap it tomorrow and then give you night 2. My buddy Billy, who knows Otis, will be on the show tomorrow. Can't wait for that. Kind of a quick show today because it's more previewy, whereas tomorrow we'll go over a bunch more stuff and have Billy in for some fun stories.
Oh, yeah.
A
lot
we'll
more
talk
to
about
talk
some
about.
of our favorite WrestleMania moments tomorrow. Can't wait for that.
And you know a funny little quirk about WrestleMania?
Go ahead.
I was looking it up.
Yeah.
And WrestleMania around the first 10 days in April.
Yeah.
Very popular time for them to have WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
There's been like 20 of them, around 20 of them that have been right around this time, which is very interesting. Yeah. And I just the different matches they had, just WrestleMania, I just love it.
Hey, tomorrow is all about WrestleMania. Preview, recap night 1, preview night 2, and then talk about some of our favorite. Because every year, you gotta talk about your favorite WrestleMania moments because every year they hit different around this time. Oof. But what's our card for night 1 WrestleMania Saturday?
All right. Well, we have the Raw Women's Championship with Becky Lynch against Bianca Belair.
Thing someone asked me.
All right.
This is gonna be a Bret Hart Stone Cold double turn. Maybe.
Ooh.
Are they going to put Becky back as a face and Bianca's going to be the heel at the end of this?
They could do something like that, yeah. It'd be interesting. She has not.
Allison, by the way, does like Becky's new hair. The way that Becky had it down the other day. Allison wasn't too big of a fan, but that was like the mullet type of look. But Allison says the hair looks good.
Yeah, she got it fixed.
Yeah.
That would be interesting because Bianca's...
What a performer. Becky just allowing her hair to get cut randomly on national. God damn, Molly Holly would be proud.
Yes, she would. Bianca would not have let that happen to her. If she would turn and be a heel, that'd be interesting because she is so popular.
Oh,
but
Bianca was a great heel down in NXT. That's the thing people forget. She was great in NXT.
But that would be great. I would be good for her. I would love it. We got next coming up the first of our celebrity intros there. We have Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio against The Miz and Logan Paul. I really hope they beat the hell out of Logan Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he's going to take the pin.
As Allison said, sadly, it's not his brother. But if I got to watch somebody get their ass kicked, even if it's in a scripted sport, Logan Paul,
we will enjoy it.
Logan Paul, fuck you, may you break your neck. And everyone's like, oh my God, you're saying that? Fuck you, you're a complete fucking piece of shit. You and your brother are. Your parents should be ashamed of you. You're an absolute loser among losers. I don't care how much money you've made in your life. Go to hell and may your neck not work after this.
Well, I want to see if I can screw him over and like he did that card deal and get that money from him. He's not.
Why do you think he's doing this? He has to get the money back for that deal.
I know.
Fucked him over.
By the way, we should try to do that to him.
Whoever you are.
You're brilliant.
Whoever you are.
We're proud of you.
If I can meet the person that screwed Logan Paul out of that Pokemon deal, I won't buy you a steak. I want to buy you a steak. I want to shake your hand. I want to get a photo with you. Be like, this man is my hero. So, yeah, Logan Paul, fuck you.
Yeah. All right. After that, we have a lovely Drew McIntyre against
Are you not
Happy
more hyped
Corbin.
for this fucking match after the end of SmackDown?
Oh, God,
Are you not more fucking ready for this shit?
Oh, God, I love it.
I am so excited for this match after last night. Corbin did exactly what he should have done.
And they have had some good matches in the past.
They have.
So this is going to be great. I am so happy with it.
By the way, Allison was very disappointed at the ending. But congratulations to Madcap Moss.
She didn't want the Madcap Moss to win?
Well, not with Finn being the last guy in there.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
But when I saw that, I'm like, oh, they're going to have Madcap Moss win because him and Corbin are winners.
I told Allison, Finn's in there with 3 heels. He ain't coming out the winner of the Andre.
Yeah, it's like the happy group. both are winners of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I just gotta tell you, I cannot wait for this match.
That'll be good.
This is gonna be a slobber knocker.
Oh yes, good old JR, just a slobber knocker.
If there ever was one. Yep.
All right. Well, up next we have the Usos, the ones, going against two of my favorite guys, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs.
If you're not hyped for this match, you are dead inside. This is going to be so much fun.
When they were on Friday, when the kids are here, I say, Claire, what? Get in there. Guess who's going to be on? And all of a sudden, Evan, Rick Boogs. She's like, God. She went right, and she was in there dancing away because
it's going to be.
She loves. She'll be doing that hardcore.
What'll be really interesting is that if Roman's thing with Brock is really going to be determined a lot by what happens in this match.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's WrestleMania. They've held it for a while. I do think now is the time to... Boogs and Nakamura are never going to be more entertaining than they already are.
God, yeah.
Because they're just going to continue to be great. This is going to be fun.
It was.
Can't wait to see it.
They could do a title change there. I would be no problem with that whatsoever. And it's not going to hurt anything.
No.
All right, and then we do have another tag team match up there. We have the New Day, King Woods.
Yep.
Even though they're not putting him in as King Woods, they changed it to Xavier now.
Another great interview where Xavier said, "Call me whatever you want. I'm just out here to."
But they had on Wikipedia they had King Woods and Woods and Kofi Kingston against Sheamus, Rich Holland with Butch.
Very much hoping or very much wish this could have been a 6-man, but what has happened has happened. The world has to move on regardless. The man can walk. That's all I care about. His future in wrestling, who knows? We'll deal with that when we get there, but he's watching at home, safe and sound, able to move all of his things, and that's what I'm happy about. This match is going to be great because it's just got great performers in it. And yes, I know Ridge is still a little green, but I do think Ridge is now on a pitch count. And what I mean by that is he ain't going to be doing things that he can't do.
That's true.
Which is fine.
I agree with
nothing wrong with that.
I totally agree with it.
AEW would have had that injury, and they did have that injury with Lance Archer. And they're just going to throw people out there and let them do all the same stupid shit they always do. So anyway.
There we go.
But yeah, no, I certainly... am looking forward to this match. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
There we go.
You got You got three of the all-time great performers in there, and then Ridge I think will be just fine.
Yep, he'll go in there. All right. And we do have for the SmackDown Championship. It's very interesting. They got both women titles on the first night, but Charlotte is taking on Ronda Rousey.
I think Ronda's winning.
I do too. I do too.
Charlotte is gonna make her look great.
Oh, yeah. She's going to take her arm and give it to her family.
I don't know where Charlotte's going after this. She might take time for the wedding because I know recently she talked about she is going to get the wedding with Andrade at some point. I didn't check and see what the date was, but I do know that Charlotte has put in the work. She's done a great job. If she wants to take some time off after WrestleMania, there's nothing wrong with her taking some time off after WrestleMania.
Here's a fun question. Armbar, ankle lock. What's she going to tap?
She's going to find a way to put the armbar on. She is.
You think it?
Oh, yeah.
She's probably hit both of them. Yep. But you think she'll armbar will tap out?
Yeah.
And then she'll rip it off and give it to her kids.
Yeah.
That's what she said. You give it to her family in the front row. Yep. I agree with that.
Yep.
All right. And then, of course, we're going to have a Saturday night, the return of Stone Cold.
How do you feel?
On the Arcade show. Kevin Owens show.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Oh, my God.
This is for you. 19 years ago, you watched the man's last match.
I want to come out, get a beer, look at Kevin Owens, and kick the shit out of him.
There you go.
Because Owens will take it.
It's really funny. Somebody posted the old picture of Kevin Owens with his face in the turnbuckle, and the caption was, "Only a few more months." And that was back before Kevin Owens was going to re-sign. And I'm sitting here like, Kevin Owens knows that this is the place to be. He knows that this is where his... I'm not... This is not to take a shot at AEW. This is to just explain the development of Kevin Steen.
Yes.
He's outgrown his indie darling days.
Yeah.
He just has.
And he doesn't need to go back to it.
He doesn't need to go back to doing ladder wars. He doesn't need to go back to the 10,000 things he used to do in Mount Rushmore for PWG. He needs to be right here on the biggest stage, doing exactly what he's good at.
Yep.
And that's just being. I mean, Leroy, how many times has Vince McMahon personally offered you your contract to come back?
Not too many, I don't think.
Vince McMahon personally wanted Kevin Owens to come back.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, folks, if you're wondering out there, oh, blah, blah, this, blah, Sami Zayn said it best. Why do we live in a culture of either you're winning the world title or you're being buried? Why does it have to be one or the other?
Yeah, you don't need to be in that match.
Kevin Owens is about to do something that Leroy, it's rare even for him because he used to be a big workhorse back in the day.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens gets to have a WrestleMania moment with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And he doesn't have – it's not really a wrestling match either.
No.
Yeah.
But this is – I don't care what anyone says. Kevin Owens is one of the biggest Stone Cold fans there is. He's going to love this. This is going to be funny. This is going to be entertaining. This is going to – like, you will if you don't come out of this loving this segment unless it totally just gets botched.
Yeah.
Then
it won't get botched.
Then you take everything too seriously. You just
yeah.
You just do.
One of the highlights tonight, and I saved this for last.
Okay, that's fair.
Because
we don't know.
It's Seth frickin' Rollins against Vince McMahon to be determined. So many speculation.
Seth Rollins on Twitter.
He is troll. Oh my god.
That is the greatest week of Twitter I've ever seen someone have.
Oh, I have so much fun. But then but
Seth in Vince's office jumping on Vince. I don't know how much they told Vince about that.
He looked very irritated.
Vince looked legitimately irritated when Seth got on the desk.
I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah.
No offense.
No.
Right.
That is.
But here's
Bray Wyatt's in town reportedly.
Ooh, yes, I saw that. I was like, there's so. I mean.
This might be the most anticipated thing of the night. Just
it is. I mean, where they're going to have it in there. I mean, it's going to be a huge pop.
Yeah.
If it is Cody, it's going to be a huge pop.
Yeah.
If it is Bray Wyatt, it's going to be a huge pop.
Yeah.
If it's Shane McMahon, it's not going to be as big of a pop.
Well, first of all, folks, Shane was never fired. He's family.
Yeah.
He was asked to just step away. That's all it was.
And for a pop, it's going to be a pretty decent pop for him, but not as big as the other two.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else they could do. I mean, somebody goes, Goldberg comes up. No, it's not going to be Goldberg.
Goldberg did the only thing he wanted to do, which was he proved he could still go. His son got to see him be.
Yep.
Well, that's just it. His son got to see him be Goldberg. Not just Bill Goldberg coming back and Legends contracting it. He got to see him be Goldberg. I think Bill's done. I think Bill's cool with it.
Yeah, and I think
Seth is right now. I think Seth even realizes because Seth probably knows who he's facing, but Seth probably knows because he's just such a knowledgeable person about this. He knows he's the most anticipated thing about this night. Whenever this happens, wherever on the card this is. Seth knows they're all waiting for what he's gonna do.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you hear "Burn It Down," that crowd is gonna be hyped and anticipated and ready for whatever happens. Yes, this is also the most potential huge letdown of the night. But I think if it's the Fiend, that place is gonna lose its ever-loving mind.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my ever-loving mind.
Because I think if you're Bray, maybe come back on a limited basis, a little more part-time. I think the world got to see how creative you are, in the sense of you can go do other things and then come back to the wrestling thing. With Rock, it was how charismatic he was. With Cena, it was the ability to adapt to what he does.
Yep.
For Bray, it was the creativity. It was the mind for horror. It was the mind for just thrills and so many other things. If he comes back on a part-time basis, makes sense to me. Maybe just need some time off to go, do some projects, do some things. Clearly, like Jesse said, never really did the interview where he was going to talk shit about people. So I mean, that's a telling sign right there.
And right now, for him coming back and him and Seth having a WrestleMania moment, it does work.
Yeah.
Having Cody come in, it's the biggest thing because he was in AEW and he's back, and that works.
Yeah.
But there's no story really for that. The Bray would be a way better one.
Now, we're gonna move on to a thing that's not on this, but I want to get this over with because again, a lot of stuff that we're talking about today, we're gonna recap with Jesse on Monday.
Oh yes.
He's not here today.
Oh yes.
So here's the deal. I got a few names for you.
All right.
Asuka.
Yes.
Alexa Bliss. Shut up, Alexa. Alexa, stop. You didn't unplug it. You didn't. That's perfect.
I forgot where it was.
That was great. Little Miss.
She's unplugged right now.
There we go. Little Miss Bliss, Asuka, Bailey, all these other male talents, whatever.
Oh, dude.
Folks, WrestleMania is upon us. It wouldn't have made sense to bring them back and put them in something quick and this and that. Folks, this is going to be an amazing summer of wrestling, in my opinion, because there's so much talent that's going to come back.
There's a lot of ladies.
Well, not only that, but my point is just in general, there's a lot of talent that get a fresh start this year.
Yep.
Monday's going to be a very unique day. Hopefully, I'll be able to finally breathe through my sinuses. That's a whole nother story. But
well, I'll help you that. We had air hose and a little whiskey. We'd be all right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think the only thing we haven't done is do this show while intoxicated. That'll be fun someday.
You can be I have to do too much. I can't be drunk.
That's fair.
It would really screw it up.
Jesse and I'll just be two drunk idiots. But anyway, here's the deal. Look forward to wrestling after Monday. Not just in WWE, but everywhere. But
yes,
look forward to wrestling this summer because there's a lot of potential. Asuka, Bailey, Alexa. I can't even think of like male talents other than the guys that could be called up from NXT. But here's the deal.
I think male talents can be called up.
This is the first week after WrestleMania in a while where there's going to be true call-ups of NXT in a couple of years, because that was the problem when NXT. That was the only issue I had with Triple H's NXT winged era. Was it seemed like they were all going to stay in NXT and do their own thing, and they weren't really being built up. Yeah. Rhea was a different animal because she is just a different animal.
Oh yeah,
hard to believe that woman is still 3 inches shorter than I am. That I still can't believe that's a thing. And she might be more, but she's billed at like 5'8". Yeah. But again, that's the sad part. She'd be 5'8" if she was in AEW because they'd be having horrible camera angles at it. At least WWE makes you believe that Rhea seems like she's 6 foot.
That's Evan's new favorite, as Rhea.
Interesting for you going forward with the girls he'll be bringing home, but
yeah, that's all right.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. But that's my thing, Leroy. Is I am so excited for wrestling this summer and the potential of it. Now, there's all the chance in the world they could all disappoint me because AEW has been disappointing me for the last 3 years. But but for right now, I just want to have this beautiful optimism of what wrestling could be down the line. That's all I want.
I'm just looking. The two I'm looking forward to coming back, Asuka and Bailey.
Oh yeah,
because
Bailey kept all of her heat.
Oh god,
throughout this injury, she's posted great stuff. Truly, Bailey is someone that I can't wait to see how she continues. And by the way, I hate to say it, the injury might have been the best thing for her, kayfabe wise.
There we go.
Because she gets to come back and she gets to be so much more angry that all this stuff happened without her. And she has so much more potential of things. It's going to be great.
Well, and also, plus, if Charlotte steps away, that's perfect for Bailey to come in back on SmackDown, and because she's a free agent, and her and Ronda Rousey, going toe to toe,
yeah,
that would be good.
Yeah,
that would be good.
The other thing about it is in my opinion, unless she has decided that she wants to really do this, which I don't think she does. I've got Ronda holding this maybe till SummerSlam.
Okay, yeah.
And then after SummerSlam, she'll probably be out
for a while or out permanently.
It depends on what she wants.
Yeah,
I mean, Leroy, it's different for you because you had to work to support your new family. But after each and every one of your kids, I'm sure you had different ideas of where you. I'm sure the way that your brain works, because you've told me 1,000 times. It doesn't matter how many you have. Each time you have a kid, your brain starts just going rampant with just crazy thoughts, good for better or for worse. But you can probably attest to it. Where does she want to go now that she has this young child?
Yeah.
Where does she want to have another? Does she want to have another earlier? Does she want to wait a couple of years? Because what are the years differences between your kids?
Eben is 10 and Claire is soon to be 7, so 3 years.
And then your other kids?
16 and 20, soon to be 27.
Okay, so there was a bit more of a gap there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, from my first to my youngest, 20 years, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's just it. It really depends. Rhonda said on Total Divas, nobody ever truly retires, but Rhonda, I mean, look, Becky, we learned from Seth after she had Rue. She wanted to get back in that ring so damn bad. Nothing could stop her.
The itch was there.
She got to have her family and wrestling, bar none.
There you
go. She got both, the best of both worlds. Rhonda could have basically said to herself, I had my family. I still had a little bit of the itch. Got it taken care of. I'm done. Or, it's just, again, don't have any kids of my own currently. Who knows? You obviously can speak to that knowledge more than I can. But, it's just, who knows what Rhonda thinks leaving SummerSlam at that point. But no, I think tonight's going to be just a tremendous show. There's a lot more potential. There was so much disdain for this WrestleMania up until WrestleMania week, which funny how that all went away and we told you all that it was going to go away because you get hyped for Mania. It don't matter. Like
oh, totally. I'm just like, what's this weekend? Oh, it's Mania weekend.
Yeah.
Do I have the weekend off of work? Yes.
I
Why?
do.
Because it's Mania weekend.
I totally forgot that I had the week off because I was like, I'm going to check to see what I work on Saturday. Oh, why do I have Saturday? Oh, right, WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's WrestleMania.
And no, that's not me forgetting there's WrestleMania. You have to understand, I got so many balls in the air right now. It's ridiculous.
I got a few things I'm juggling too.
Yeah,
just this week.
Oh, crazy days.
Oofta.
Yeah. Best wishes to your mother, by the way.
Oh yeah, she is doing good.
Yeah.
I have to go before the show. I hopefully get a sneak up and see her for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kids, so. Yeah. Okay. But no. No, Leroy. Can we put to bed the idea that no one's gonna watch WrestleMania?
Everybody's gonna watch.
You're watching WrestleMania.
Oh God,
okay?
Yes.
I don't care if they didn't have the best lead up to it. I don't care. I actually think this card has a lot more potential to be a great night. I do think that this year they were much more cognizant of Sunday's the big show.
Yes.
Sunday is the night with the big matches. We're not going to give you any matches. We'll talk about that tomorrow after we.
Well, everybody knows the big. Everybody knows the big match for Sunday.
Yeah. But now, I mean, but it's just, my question to you is just, you're looking forward to. What's your match of the night candidate tonight? What do you think will be the match of match your segment? If you want to choose KO and Stone Cold, go for it.
Match your segment. Well. I think match-wise, Drew and Corbin will be one of the best.
Yeah.
But the pop and the feel of Stone Cold coming back in Texas with KO, that'll be awesome. But, yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to Drew. I love watching Drew. And then the anticipation of who Seth freaking Rollins is going to...
How long do you think? How long do you think they'll milk that?
How long they're gonna milk it?
Once Seth is finally in the ring.
Okay.
Once Seth is finally folks, something we haven't even thought of, and we need to take a moment to actually prepare ourselves because it's going to take another 2 hours to prepare for this. The fuck is Seth going to wear?
Oh my God, yes.
Did anybody? Seth Rollins could have hid in Vince McMahon's office as a throw rug, and nobody would have noticed.
No,
when you look at what he was wearing.
In
it's
like
package.
What is he gonna bring out? Because he always has some great outfits for WrestleMania.
You think he goes full Joker? You think he actually goes full Joker tonight?
He could. That would be very interesting.
Yeah,
it would work. Or the baby's helping him pick out stuff again. Or Becky is one of the two.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll see what. We also can look at if Becky's on first. We can look at what Becky's wearing.
Yeah,
and it could be very similar to what Seth would be wearing.
Don't worry. Allison,
they might be matching.
Oh, don't worry. Allison's gonna be looking very intently at what Becky will be wearing. I know I'm third in my house, or fourth in my household behind three Irish folk. I know.
I see. I guess I'm not that lucky as you, because she paid more attention to me than that. But I pay more attention to wrestling than her a little bit.
Yeah,
but she's okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told her she can come over. I said, come over and watch some guys in tight little shorts, whatever, and their muscles, and you can watch them beat each other up. And she's like, maybe.
Allison's favorite line is, "How do straight men watch this?" And I'm like, well, it's a lot of just understanding what's really going on. Anyway,
yes, that is so true.
No, but back to my question: how long do you think they milked this with Seth? How long do you like? I mean, obviously we have to go. Obviously we have to do the for a little bit.
Oh, you got to do that for Seth. Yeah, the crowd
after the music's gone. They're gonna do it, but like, are there gonna be some teases? Are the lights gonna go out? I mean, like. Here's the thing: I have no idea what's gonna happen. And I'm super excited that I don't have any clue what's going to happen.
It is. I think within 5 minutes of Seth going out and doing his shit, that's when they're going to do it. I don't know. They're going to have to. I would guess they're going to kill the lights.
Okay.
I'm thinking they're going to have to do that, or they're going to have to change the lights somehow, dim them, different color, something like that. That's what they're going to come out with.
Yeah.
And then boom. They're going to nail us with whoever the heck it's going to be.
It's going to be something.
It is.
It's going to be an absolute just...
But
I will say this. I'll be the first person to come on here tomorrow. I'm with you for 3 days in a row. My God, why do I do this to myself? I will be the first person to come on tomorrow.
Yes, you do it to yourself.
Yes, I do. I'll be the first person. To be fair, I'm actually getting paid to do this right now. Work is actually paying. I use vacation time. I'm getting paid for this shit.
Oh yeah, me too.
Well, no, you're only getting paid for Saturday. I'm getting paid for Saturday and Monday.
Oh well, yeah, I don't get paid for Monday because I'm not working anyway.
You already have Mondays off. But no,
yeah.
I'll be the first person to come on here tomorrow. If it's somebody that was not on our list and it was somebody that was already on the roster and it ends up being a dud, I'll be the first person to come. You know what? Write this down. I will start the show with Seth's match if it's a dud. I'll be the first person to do it.
Okay.
We'll start the show with it.
All right. We will. I'll remind you of that when that happens.
But like I said, they have been hyping this to be Cody for a while. They have teased everything they can think of with Cody Rhodes. And yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's a new Seth one.
Oh, Seth. Seth, I love you. That's almost a complete day ago.
That's yeah.
Corey Graves. If that happens,
your other half will go nuts.
Allison will walk out.
She might.
Allison will walk out of the room. She'll turn off Peacock. She'll turn off the cock. Anyway. So anyway,
and that's a horrible thing if the ladies are turning off the cock.
Exactly.
Jeez.
But no, Leroy, I think that's it for today. We got a lot more.
I think we ain't got that much going. I mean,
we'll cover more with we'll go over a lot of this stuff. Keep these papers. We'll go over more with Jesse on Monday. Tomorrow we got my buddy Billy Lamoureux on the show. Billy is brothers with Jimmy, who was on the show very early on, talking about Otis. Billy's got some more stories and possibly the same stories, but from a different perspective, which we love to hear.
There we go. And Otis is going to be featured on night too.
Yeah. Which is great. We get to talk to Billy about that, but Billy will be here tomorrow. Leroy, have the snacks ready. He'll be here at about 12:30 sharp.
Okay, I got to work on some tonight, I think.
Okay, perfect. But anyway, folks, you want to come on the show? We got baked goods. Leroy will bake all morning for you.
I'm really good. I got to go to church first, but I can do that, and I can do something tonight too.
You've put together some amazing smorgasbords before shows, and you've still done church. I'm not worried about you.
There we go. I might be able to get some smoothies for everybody tomorrow.
Ah, yes, of course. We have your lovely smoothie maker in the background.
Oh yeah,
I'm hyped. I know you are.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to leave you with this. Please enjoy the most stupendous two-night WrestleMania for night one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for WrestleMania.